A game that I, alongside with many others, had high hopes for, is about to make a last-ditch effort to keep the game from shutting down. When we first saw the announcement trailer, it blew us away. A minimal HUD, full immersion into an alien planet, littered with deadly creatures and enemy players. What we were seeing was a fresh, new, free-to-play Tarkov-like experience with big names of the genre like Pestily, Shroud, and even the Two Times, hyping this game up hard as the next big extraction looter shooter.
It's not bad. I mean, look how fast it is. Boom, we're going into the server right now.
In 2021, we were introduced to the Cycle Frontier, where you play as a prospector in the distant future with the objective of dropping onto the deadly planet of Fortuna 3 to loot and gather rare items and materials to use for crafting, to complete missions given to you by various factions, and to advance your player's quarters. That would give your character significant advantages over time. The concept of the game is actually pretty awesome. The Cycle Frontier nails what makes an extraction looter shooter worth your while. Risk for reward. There's plenty of meaningful progression with multiple campaigns from the different factions that you'll have to complete to unlock several in-game activities and items. When you crash down to Fortuna 3 in your drop pod, you have no match timer to limit your exploration, basically putting all the pressure on the player to know when it's time to make your way to a dropship and extract with what you've obtained. On planet, you encounter a plethora of different alien creatures that, if you're not careful, can quickly swarm and kill even the best players. But your real threat is other players that are also trying to survive and make it to a dropship. With the lack of rules and the always welcome addition of proximity chat, the PvP interactions were always tense, always unpredictable. Jaeger Development initially started the Cycle as a battle royale, revealing this new title at Gamescom 2018, right after finishing their previous game, Dreadnought. The BR Cycle released into early access on the Epic Games Store in August of 2019 and shut down in October of 2021, the same month that the Cycle Frontier's closed beta was going down. After one more beta early in 2022, the game went into early access on June 8th. And in that month, the Cycle had some really solid numbers. Hitting a peak of 40,000 players on Steam at one point. But over the following months, the player base began dropping off, culminating to now having an average player base of around 1,000. But why? With such a promising new title in a genre that I think most of you would agree is on the rise, why have they not been able to maintain a larger player base, resulting in them about to make a drastic and unexpected change to save their game? To answer that, we need to go to the release. When the Cycle Frontier released in June, the feedback was overwhelmingly positive, with players praising the experience for combining the challenging, intense combat feeling of Tarkov, but with less learning curve and skill gap. And then, like a plague all competitive shooters have to face, came the cheaters.
But he said, oh, I'm dead. Cheater.
In the first few months of the Cycle's release, your biggest adversary wasn't the alien creatures, it wasn't Giga Chad, Sweatlord players, it was cheaters.
Cheater.
For many, especially at the top level, the game was almost unplayable. As if you die to a cheater in a regular FPS game, you just hop out, you just start a new match. But with extraction looter shooters, when you die, you lose everything. Your weapons, your armor you came in with, and anything that you had picked up along the way. And just like I said before, this genre is built for players who are looking for higher risk for higher reward. By proxy, that completely exacerbated the cheating problem. The Cycle Steam page became flooded with negative reviews targeted specifically at the game's cheaters. In this market, it doesn't take that long for a game to earn a label. A large amount of the player base just wrote the game off right there. Oh, that game has too many cheaters. I'll come back when the problem's fixed. But as gamers, I think we can all admit that our attention spans don't hold on for that long. It doesn't take that much to pull our focus and get us hyped for the next big thing, right? With an oversaturation of subpar content, never-ending early beta accesses, and overhype of every upcoming game, we're kind of conditioned at this point to move on to the next big game pretty quickly. Developers today have such a small and significantly important window of opportunity to grab our attention and captivate us. Now, I had my gripes with the cheater problem too. I even had some issues with the matchmaking rating, determining which players you spawn in with based off of your kill-death ratio and some other factors. In any game that I've played, I've almost always been against this mechanism, as it makes it feel like every match is the sweat sweatiest you've ever played, making it hard to tell if you're actually improving or not. The Cycle's player base had no clue of how the system worked, leading to many of them blaming the MMR for why they were having such a poor experience with the game. This inclined me to seek an interview with Jaeger's creative director, Days. Our public conversation was able to clear up many of the questions that players were having, but the path to decline was already set. Fast forward to today, when Jaeger Development announced that Season 3 will bring with it a complete rework of the Cycle's gameplay in the form of no more wipes. If you're unfamiliar with the extraction looter shooter genre, wipes are integral. Almost every game that I've covered in this genre will wipe all player progress, anything that you have in your stash, and any upgrades that you've made at the start of every big update. They do this, one, to balance all the changes and additions that were made for the new patch, and two, to give players the opportunity to experience the game in a completely new way with all the changes and additions from this new patch. And Jaeger, at the start of Season 3 on March 29th, will perform one final mandatory wipe. This feature, according to them, will be replaced with a rebalance of the whole game and economy to be more long-term oriented, which will mostly affect the in-game part of your career. For instance, high-quality gear and equipment will be more valuable, and getting your hands on them may require a bit of risky play, making them rarer overall. Content-wise, campaigns will be reworked once more to stand in line with the new economy balance. They will also be expanded upon with new in-game quest lines and will keep growing in the future, as there's still so much more we want to show you about Fortuna 3. Now, they follow that up with a vague roadmap that hints of new content additions over the course of 2023. Now, because I have zero data on how a game in this genre, having wipes and then removing them, plays out, I have no idea if this is going to work out for them. But to me, the outcome of this change is irrelevant. Having spoken in long form to several people at Jaeger, they are clearly a passionate dev team, working hard to shape this game into the vision that they have for it, while also trying to make it as fun and rewarding as possible for anybody that plays it. Like, most of you watching probably didn't know this. And if any of my Jaeger friends are watching, like Rumble, Days, or Scrat, it's important to me that you know that I went full-time as a creator when I was covering the Cycle Frontier. I will always have a strong affinity toward this game and its development, as it's what kind of skyrocketed me into the position that I'm in today. I can't imagine the immense pressure of developing video games in today's environment.
Bro, this is literally the worst game I've ever played in my life.
With the gaming community being so quick to call a game dead before it even has the chance to breathe, it has to be nerve-wracking. Trying to craft an IP with this beautiful vision, while also having to take into account Jimothy in Long Island, who beats his dog and writes mean tweets. I, for one, will be checking out the Cycle in Season 3, and if you made it this far into the video, I hope you do too. These devs still have a lot to give, and what they've been working on behind the scenes truly has me intrigued to how they're going to get this player count moving in a positive trajectory. If you're into updates with everything going on with new extraction looter shooters in 2023, consider subscribing, and I will see you here. I just tried Streets of Tarkov as a new player. Didn't go like I expected. Just click it. Just click it. Click it. Click it. Click it. Click it.